Have you ever wondered what it's like to live in Israel and to know what they're going through right now? Well, you're going to learn about that now. We'll be going over three main topics that are happening in Israel through terrorism, religion, and foreign policy. Israel was founded as a place for the Jewish refugees from the Holocaust to have a safe place to live. This movement was called Zionism, which is where Jews wanted to move back to the Holy Land that their ancestors lived in. In 1948, they started their move back to Israel and ended up taking over many Palestinian villages. This caused outrage of Palestinians and led to the creation of many of the violent resistance organizations. Israel is very much split with religion, as the main country is mostly Jewish, and Gaza and the West Bank, on the other hand, are a Muslim majority but are not considered countries and are controlled by Israel. Religion is one of the defining factors in the Israel-Palestine conflict, as it is what started the conflict and makes it continue today. Because Palestine was originally almost exclusively Muslim, Israel ended up kicking out many people based upon their religion. Now Israel is mostly Jewish, but unlike all of the other countries around them, they do have full freedom of religion. In Israel and the Middle East in general, religion plays a huge part in people's everyday lives, from what they eat to the way they dress. This is very different from America, where religion usually does not define the way people live. Of course, religion can often lead to conflicts, people taking their religion to the extreme. This is very evident in the Middle East, as much of the Israel-Palestine war is based upon religion. Some of the groups in it are religious extremists. Terrorism has been one of the biggest issues in Israel and in the Middle East in general. Israel, this relates particularly to the clash of religion and the fact that they have been in a continual war for many years. Much of the terrorism is due to an extreme religious doctrine of Islam that has caused much of the terrorism in the Middle East for the past few decades. These groups include ISIS and Al-Qaeda, but mostly the Israelis are fighting the Palestinians who want a Palestinian state. This proves to be a hard situation for Israel, as they want the non-stop violence to end, but still want their own state with a Jewish majority. This war of religions has also had a very serious death toll, particularly with civilians. This is evident in the fact that just in October of 2016, there were 72 terrorist attacks against Israel. It is very important that the Palestinians and Israelis figure out a way of settling their differences and living in harmony, as the amount of violence between them is causing many innocent people to die for no good reason. Israel and Palestine need to figure out a way of settling their differences without using violence, and coming up with a state that includes both of them, but where they can live in harmony and not have to fight each other all the time to have the majority of population in the state. This would probably solve many of their problems in terms of terrorism. The following clip is from an interview with Israel's President Benjamin Netanyahu. You can see in it how tough the foreign policy of Israel can be.
You had a meeting with President Obama, and the White House and the State Department say that the new settlements in Arab East Jerusalem undercut your commitment to peace, that it could poison the atmosphere, it could turn the world against you. What is your response to that when the President says that to you?
Well, I think we should be acquainted with the facts first. First of all, these are not settlements, these are neighborhoods of Jerusalem. Arab neighborhoods and Jerusalem.
Well, they redefine territory that is very much in play in the final peace.
Well, I think that in any country, any proposal for peace has a Palestine. The Jewish neighborhoods in Jerusalem, which is what we're talking about in the state, leaders will make a number of them move nearly half of Jerusalem's population will live beyond the former 67.
As you can see, the ongoing conflict between Israel and Palestine has caused Israel to have a very tough policy that attacks countries that they are in conflict with. They also are not willing to give up land that they have conquered before. They are allies of the US and many other countries, so they get a lot of assistance in what they do. This means that they are often winning the conflicts between them and Palestine, as they also have much more advanced weaponry and a much bigger army. I hope that this documentary has deepened your understanding on the conflict between Israel and Palestine, as well as taught you a lot about Israel. This conflict is one of the biggest and longest lasting ones that is going on today and is very important in our world now. I think it's important that we figure out a solution to it so that there won't be long-lasting violence in this region, and that there can finally be a peaceful settlement.